There are 5 plants growing in your backyard right now. They grow in every sidewalk crack and every empty field on every continent. You have walked past them 10,000 times. You have pulled them out and thrown them away. You have paid someone to poison them. And every single one is more nutritious than the vegetables in your refrigerator right now. More vitamin C than an orange. More iron than spinach. More protein per calorie than most things you buy at the store. These are not exotic plants. These are not rare herbs requiring a guide. These are the exact plants your great-grandmother ate during the Depression, the ones that fed entire armies before supply chains existed. They cost nothing. They grow without water, fertilizer, or any care you provide. They show up uninvited and never stop producing. And right now, a $900 billion global food industry needs you to keep calling them weeds. They did not disappear from your plate because they stopped being edible. They disappeared because a plant that grows freely cannot be packaged and sold back to you for $6 a bundle. What you cannot own, you have to teach people to hate. This is the story of the 5 most powerful edible plants on Earth and why every military survival manual and indigenous elder still knows their names. Welcome to Lost Skills. This is where the vaults get opened. Subscribe and hit the bell. The year is 1847. The Irish countryside is in the middle of the worst famine in European recorded history. 1 million people will die. But here is the detail every textbook leaves out. The fields were not empty. Dandelions were growing everywhere. Nettles covered the roadsides. Clover spread across every abandoned pasture. Plantain pushed through every broken path. The food was there. Every plant that could have kept families alive was growing freely around them. But 2 generations of industrial agriculture had already erased the knowledge of how to use them. The knowledge gap killed as many people as the famine itself. That is not a metaphor. That is documented agricultural history. This video is just the surface of what they buried. I collected everything inside the complete Lost Skills vault. Edible plant field guides, military foraging protocols, natural preparations field medics used across 2 world wars, emergency calorie calculations for every plant here. Over 10 complete guides in one place. The link is in the description. But stay here. This vault is just beginning to open. Plant number 1. Dandelion, Taraxacum officinale. Weed killer manufacturers generate over $14 billion annually in the United States alone. Their single biggest residential target is dandelion. $14 billion spent every year to eliminate the most nutritious, freely available food growing in your yard. 1 cup of raw dandelion greens contains 112% of your daily vitamin A, 32% of your daily vitamin C, 35% of your daily vitamin K. More calcium than a glass of milk, more iron than a serving of ground beef. The root contains inulin, the same prebiotic fiber that pharmaceutical companies extract, concentrate, and sell in capsule form for $30 a bottle. You can dig the root for free from any lawn in any country in the Northern Hemisphere right now. Every part of the dandelion is edible: leaves, flowers, stem, root, raw or cooked. Indigenous peoples across North America, Europe, and Asia all independently developed dandelion as a primary food and medicine source. Colonial American settlers intentionally carried dandelion seeds on ships crossing the Atlantic as a deliberate food crop. Not as a weed, as a crop. It became a weed only when the food industry decided that what grows freely in your yard has no place on your dinner plate. Plant number 2, Purslane, Portulaca oleracea. Farmers pull this out by the ton and throw it away every single growing season. Here is what they are throwing away. Purslane contains the highest concentration of omega-3 fatty acids ever measured in any land plant on Earth. More omega-3 per gram than most commercial fish oil supplements. It contains vitamins A, C, and E simultaneously. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Nutrition confirmed that purslane contains more alpha-linolenic acid than any other leafy vegetable ever analyzed. That is not folk wisdom. That is peer-reviewed science. The ancient Greeks cultivated purslane deliberately as a garden food crop. It has been eaten continuously across the Middle East, Mediterranean, and Asia for over 4,000 years. In Turkey, it is still served as a salad vegetable. In Mexico, it appears in traditional cooking as verdolaga. The taste is mild, slightly sour, slightly salty, completely palatable raw or cooked. It requires zero preparation beyond rinsing. The global vegetable market generates over $1 trillion annually, selling you food you could grow for free in every empty patch of soil on your property. Plant number 3, stinging nettle, Urtica dioica. This is the plant every hiker curses after brushing against it on a trail. The sting is real, but here is what the pharmaceutical industry prefers: you never connect. Cooked nettle has zero sting. The compounds that cause the sting break down completely with 15 seconds of boiling water. What you are left with is a leafy green that contains more protein by dry weight than any other commonly available wild plant in the temperate world. Up to 25% protein by dry weight. For comparison, fresh spinach contains under 3% protein. Nettle contains iron at levels that rival red meat. It contains calcium higher than dairy. It contains chlorophyll at concentrations that the supplement industry bottles and sells at $8 per ounce under names like liquid chlorophyll or green detox formula. During World War I, the German army harvested nettles to manufacture military uniforms because nettle fiber is stronger than cotton. In Scotland, nettle broth sustained highland communities through lean winters for centuries. And the global dietary supplement industry generates over $160 billion annually selling you extracts derived from plants exactly like this one. Plant number 4, common plantain, Plantago major, not the banana. The flat-leafed roadside plant with parallel veins running along every leaf. It grows in every lawn, every path, every compacted soil area on every inhabited continent. Plantain leaves are edible raw when young. The seeds of the mature spike contain mucilage, the exact same soluble fiber compound that the pharmaceutical industry extracts from plantain's close relative psyllium and sells as Metamucil at $11 per container. Psyllium husk is literally a packaged version of a compound growing freely as a roadside weed in every temperate country on Earth. Native American peoples across dozens of nations used plantain as both food and medicine, calling it white man's foot because it followed European settlers wherever they disturbed the land. You cannot charge for something that refuses to stop growing everywhere for free. Plant number 5, red clover, Trifolium pratense. This plant covers every meadow, every roadside, every unmowed grass area in the temperate world. Farmers seed it deliberately to enrich soil and then plow it under without ever considering it as food. Red clover flowers and young leaves are fully edible raw. The dried flowers brew into a tea that tastes mildly sweet and genuinely pleasant. The supplement industry currently sells red clover isoflavone extract as a hormone balance product at $40 per bottle. The raw material grows free in every untended field in the Northern Hemisphere. A plant that costs nothing cannot compete on a shelf next to a product with a barcode. Now I need to be honest with you. These 5 plants are among the safest and most visually distinctive species in the world. Dandelion, purslane, nettle, plantain, and red clover are so unmistakable that misidentification is essentially impossible with even minimal attention. There are no deadly lookalikes for these specific plants. That is not true of every plant in the wild, which is exactly why this video covers these 5 and no others. Never harvest from roadsides treated with herbicide or from areas with contaminated soil. Rinse everything. Start with small quantities. Here is exactly what to do right now. Walk outside and look at any unmowed patch within 100 feet of where you are standing. If you are in any temperate region on Earth, at least one of these 5 plants is almost certainly there. The dandelion with its jagged toothed leaves and hollow stem. The purslane lying flat with thick succulent leaves. The nettle standing upright with serrated leaves and visible hair. The plantain with its ribbed oval leaves in a flat rosette close to the ground. The red clover with its 3-leaf clusters and round pink flowers. Pick one young leaf. Identify it with certainty. Wash it. Taste it. That single action reconnects you to 60,000 years of human food knowledge that 70 years of industrial agriculture spent enormous resources erasing from your memory. Your great-grandmother did not go to a grocery store to learn what was edible. She walked outside, and she already knew. That knowledge did not vanish. It was buried under $14 billion of weed-killer advertising and a $1 trillion food industry that depends on you not knowing what grows freely at your feet. The plants did not stop growing. The knowledge just stopped being passed down. And that stops today. If this vault opened something for you, subscribe and share it. Every share preserves what they tried to erase. The next vault opens soon, and what is inside is heavier than this one.